Yeah,
there we
now
go.
it's recording.
Now we're recording. Now we're cooking with grease. I'm glad we got the bullshit out of the way. So let's I'm sorry about calling your Untapped app bullshit. Let's go back to that. Let's talk about your Untapped before we get into the movie.
Okay.
Before we get into what we're doing, what are you drinking, sir?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, that's me. I'm Dan. I am drinking Jameson and black coffee.
Are you really drinking Jameson and black coffee?
Swear to
yes,
God.
That's what he does. I know this for a fact.
It's disgusting. It's horrible.
Okay. Scotty, what are you drinking right now?
So I'm getting ready to finish off my Yingling. And after that, so I have my little playmates that I took to school with me. And it's with a 6-pack of IPAs from Georgia Beer Company. Because I support my local breweries. Yeah, it really does, right? But like we were saying while we were getting the crap out of the way, I reopened my Untapped account, and I'm going to track my beers on the days that we do this. So that way we can all make fun of me or send me to AA. I don't know which yet. Especially once I'm living by myself in about 60 days, I'll be solo. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh, yeah.
So Scotty's liver.
It's gone.
Yes.
Psoriasis of the liver. Here it comes.
You know, it's St. Bob's is a drinking town, dude. Have fun with it. Exactly.
Missouri is going to be an interesting experience, to be sure.
Oh, check out Show Me's when you're down there. I've got a dude. I've got a dude in St. Louis. Call him Local Dave. He's the shit. He's also prior one of us. Mm-hmm. Actually, he's currently one of Dan and I's, not prior one of you's.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a hell of a guide down in St. Louis. Great dude. So I'll hook you up with him. All right.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And then, so we're here to talk about movies this time, right?
We are talking about movies this time.
And it took, every time we talk about movies on this.
Oh, I got to get my plug out of the way real quick. That's Red Run Cannabis Company. That's Warner Brothers logo right there. They have, they grow my favorite strain of Girl Scout cookies. And that is the Smiling Unabomber t-shirt, like the one I am wearing now, which are currently for sale.
I need one.
All right. Let's make it happen.
Where can you buy it at?
Directly from me on Instagram is right now the best bet. So,
perfect. I would like to know because I'm probably going to buy a shirt now. So
all right. So we're working on the streaming service and chill.com website, which, you know, so yeah, we'll probably put the t-shirts up there as well as any, you know, links to Zoobox t-shirts and Scotty's Beer Fun t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually making a t-shirt because people say how weird I am. So I'm making a Scotty is my spirit animal t-shirt.
There you go.
Or Shirley, for those of you who know me by Shirley.
Yeah.
Stop calling me Shirley.
Yeah. That's what I put him in my phone as. Don't call me Shirley.
Dan, you know what you're in my phone as. So.
Yeah.
We really should review Airplane at some point.
Dude, we got to any of the classics, honestly. I'm always down.
Well, here's the great thing about
than what we're about to do.
Okay. Well, let's get into what we're about to do. So, over the last 10 plus years, the Fast and the Furious series, we're going on 20 years now.
Yeah, I would say
Fast and the Furious movies.
Fast and the Furious came out in 2001.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, it did. So we are going on 20 years of the Fast and the Furious. They're various franchises. They're a million sequels. They've got a TV show, or they've got an animated show on Netflix. It's just an interesting time for the Fast and the Furious series. I mean, they're almost at like James Bond numbers, and they're still more or less the same cast, or at least the same Dominic Toretto.
The ones who are still alive, yes.
Yeah. So, and they've just simply added to it, to that cast. They've added, Ja Rule was in the first one, but never came back. They added.
You know why that is, right?
Yeah, allegedly, and this, according to the story, he was offered $500,000 to come back to be in the second one, and he said that wasn't enough money. That role, I'm assuming was probably.
I heard differently, but okay.
Tell me what you heard.
So I heard that Ja Rule, after the first one, they said, "Hey, do you want to come back for the second one?" And Ja Rule did not see the franchise going anywhere, and that's when they reached out to my man Luda, All right. And Ludacris was like, yeah, I'm going to jump all over this.
Yeah.
And that's how that one came about. Not a money problem. It was I don't see this being a franchise.
Well, I would make the argument that like it's still a money issue because although clearly a man of several bad decisions in his life. All right, well documented, and we've all made bad decisions. However, his have always been like really well documented. Although interesting Ja Rule fact, he had some tax issues, and now he owns like a tax service.
Like he had tax issues, so he bought a tax service.
Well, after I guess he resolved the tax issues, he bought a tax service, became a partner in a tax service, is now I guess the owner of a tax service.
Good for him.
Got a new badge.
All right.
Sorry.
Congratulations. Is this like is this like
two new? Yeah,
Is this like a Girl Scout thing? Like you get like points?
Yes, basically.
Boy Scout points. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
good to know. All right. So before we get too deep into Hobbs and Shaw, which is the most recent film that we've all watched, what are your general thoughts of the Fast and the Furious series?
Dan, do you want to go first, or would you like for me to?
Yeah, just be straight up. I chat or watch Hobbs and Shaw. Okay, we can still go. I just know all the way up to Hobbs and Shaw. So I just want to be clear on that. But there was I've seen all the way up to Fast. What was it? Fast 8?
Fast
32.
Yeah, whatever. I would say, yeah, man. I think they're pretty cheesy, fun movies, but they got better. I think 5 and 6 were the like where they hit their sweet spot, where it was fun, and I've always enjoyed a good Fast and Furious film.
You thought 5 and 6 was the sweet spot?
If as far as balancing, I think which one was the bank heist where they had to pull
all of them
the safe out of
the Italian Job? I don't know.
Yeah, it was the one where they pulled it out. It was the one where they pulled it out of like the back of that Mexican.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Prison or whatever.
I'm pretty sure that was 6. People are gonna probably roast us to the spit for not knowing this. Yeah,
but that was like probably my favorite one. Okay. I thought that was the best one.
So, and I will give you that. And so me and Bill were talking about this, and you were kind of in this conversation. And Bill's like, "Well, what about Hobbs and Shaw?" So I downloaded it today, and I started watching it. When I messaged, I think it was Bill, maybe both of you guys. 10 minutes in, I was like, "Oh my god, I've watched this whole movie." And it's forgettable. You know, it's a movie for me where, as is most of the Fast and the Furious, is from everything post Tokyo Drift, which was the 3rd movie. So from Fast and the Furious 4, which they just called Fast and Furious, on, it's all the same kind of circular. This is going to be action, cheesy plot line, cheesy. We're going to talk about stuff. I ain't got no friends type, going in a circle. But if you want to turn your brain off for an hour and a half to 2 hours, forget reality's a thing, they're great. But on the other hand, the first 3, I mean, Tokyo Drift's a little, but
I've seen that movie too many times.
Okay. But the first one, the first time they did Fast and the Furious, it was like, wow. I remember seeing Fast and the Furious in the theaters. I was 2001. I was born in 86. Somebody else do the math. But I saw it in theaters, and I was like, this is incredible. We haven't done a fully car-based, street scene racing movie type thing yet. There's been chase scenes, and there's been, whatever, but there's no dedicated, this is a race movie. So I think Fast and Furious 1, Fast and Furious 2 is like the pinnacle of what it could have been. And then you did Tokyo Drift, which was kind of this weird, we don't know where we're going with the franchise yet. And that was in 2006.
Well, that was, I think, what I liked about that one is the kind of outside of the universe of those first 2 movies. Like it existed outside of itself, which I think just on my end opened up Fast and the Furious really early to this idea of like outside canon, like it being a bigger universe, like a Star Wars universe where there's a lot of different moving parts and physics doesn't exist.
So would you say,
gravity suggestive?
Was Tokyo Drift that was the first outside of canon, right?
I believe so.
The first storyline, and then now it's Hobbs and Shaw, but those are the only 2
that I am aware of. Plus, I think the TV show.
That's correct.
The Netflix cartoon.
Yeah. And they had 2 little short films in there that kind of tied movies together. Like going into Fast and the Furious 2, you had this little short that showed how Brian got his skyline and traveling across the country. So I've seen that one, and then I was reading about it before this, and there's another one out there, and I got to go watch it now because just so I can not sound like an idiot to myself, there's another one out there somewhere that explains ties between other movies. But between, like Bill said, the Tokyo Drift opened us up to this new universe, and people we watched it, and I watched it, and I was chewing on it, and I was like, this is Fast and the Furious, but it's a little hokey. And then,
but are you trying to say the first 2 Fast and Furious or some sort
they were very hokey.
They're all kind of hokey.
I can still quote a lot of the first one. Your granny shifting.
Yeah, you were
double shifting like you're supposed to. Nobody's gonna double shift in a street race.
What does he say? Hey, we only drink Coronas out here, or whatever.
You have any virus you want as long as it's Corona.
Yeah.
Well, I said I live my life a quarter of a mile at a time. Is I think my favorite. One of my
there's that.
Well, I drive a Highlander, like that hits me in my heart.
I think one of my favorite things is the first one. I can't remember. It's the egg salad sandwich reference. When he goes like, no one comes in for the egg salad. It tastes like shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know. It was something. Yeah, it was like, well, I do. I love that. That was. But like, I like the first one because, all right, for a starting of a franchise, basic, underground. It was cheesy. It was fun. All the cars are souped up. It was just a good time.
But it wasn't over the top.
Right, but there was just a little heart in there, There was a little heart, family, The cop is getting involved with like the underground people. They're just good people trying to get by, but they're kind of bad. But then there's these Yakuza guys who are way worse. They're just worse.
Who are riding dirt bikes, keeping up with fully blown street race cars, but neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing though, because it works in sort of like the GTA lesson gravity code. It's this isn't like it's anyone's watching Fast and Furious thinking, man, this is just like real life. If you do, you don't have a lot of experience in real life. And so it's weird to me that like. Actually, I think these movies are on one hand like really good. They're great because you're accepting that it's cheese, right? Like you're this is not reality. The explosions are going to be gigantic. The cars are going to do things that cars don't do. There's going to be a runway that's
it's like a Michael Bay film.
Long. Yeah. Yes, but it's but with the volume turned up. Like if Michael Bay and Michael Bay is another one because he just had a recent Netflix film with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, another car movie. Underground 6.
Underground 6. Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
As you should. We'll talk about it tomorrow if you have a minute.
I always have minutes for you.
Okay. I think that's another one. That's one of those films that's definitely worth another watch. I mean, we reviewed it on my podcast, but it's definitely one worth giving another watch because there's a lot going on now. So going back to Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of like this one, but first off, like there's a lot of booms, and this is a PG-13 movie, and there was but it was comic book violence, right? So it wasn't like it made sense. Helen Mirren was in it, and I didn't know, because I'm not a big Fast and the Furious guy. Was she in any of the previous ones?
Not
Which one's Helen Mirren?
The fucking hottest old lady on earth. What the hell you mean?
Dude, she was in Caligula.
Yeah, with big old titties, perfect nipples. Oh my God,
beautiful.
Dude. Helen Mirren was like 55 in a movie taking her top off, and you're like, I'm smashing. Like, no doubt.
I'm Googling her right now because I still don't know who the heck.
Just type in Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
No space, tits. That's all you need to know. Like, dude, she is. Dude, seriously, man.
I'm working on it.
She's the baddest woman. I love Helen Mirren. She's a decent actress. She's okay.
Okay, so I feel like I have to say this because I'm a little girl's dad. You should be more respectful of Helen Mirren. However, she is the grown-up taking her clothes off in movies. So She knew what she was doing. But Helen Mirren's a hell of an actress. That's the thing, is she's a great actress. And so the Fast and the Furious movies have gotten to a point where you have these really great actors and actresses getting in there, making themselves seen. Like it was just something to do. Like she's done everything. I don't think there's a genre of film that she hasn't like put her stamp on. She was in a fucking war movie like 2 years ago playing a general. Because why not? It's Helen Mirren. She can do. Yeah. She could be the next anything. She's just an awesome actress, and here she is in this sort of like cheeseball movie.
Is she a good enough actress to be the next president of the United States?
She's British, so I don't think she could.
Yeah. Okay.
However, I think she could do an accent, and we could all pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Hello, I'm Helen Mirren, and I'm from someplace. And we just pretend that she's from like some weird cave.
Yeah, Kentucky. Okay, that's all I heard. There was Kentucky, but
I mean, so Jason Statham and The Rock, Helen Mirren. Who else is in this? Anybody else of note?
I mean, there were maybe in cameos or uncredited.
Like,
roles.
Was Kurt Russell in this one?
We're talking Hobbs and Shaw, right?
I don't remember him showing up in this
because he showed up in one of the later ones.
Yeah, it was like 8 or 9 that he was in. But if we're talking Hobbs and Shaw, there's the African American actor who's starting to gain a lot of power. He was in the Stephen King Gunslinger.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, yeah. Idris, yeah. He I think that in this film, like I think he made it like a really good. Like this is him submitting like the top of his resume to be able to be the next James Bond.
Yes, I'm down for it.
Totally cool with that. He was great in The Wire, right? And if at this point any cast, if you were on The Wire, I don't think you can do any wrong. It's kind of like being in The Sopranos. Like I'll be interested in pretty much anything that you do from here on out. But I'm really I thought that this one, like this was him putting in like, making his best point. This is like, if you're familiar with Idris Elba's work, this isn't like Luther. This isn't like high art. This isn't him acting at his very best to make you convinced that he is some terribly complex guy with a lot going on and he's dealing with things. It's not that at all. It's him as a movie bad guy, but putting in a pretty good performance in it. It was almost like a Simon Phoenix character from Demolition Man, just a bad guy that you really
hell yeah. Wesley, good.
I love Demolition Man.
Anyways. Demolition Man was a classic. Is. Coronavirus. Jesus, someone say just get coronavirus.
Yeah, sorry. I was coughing, so clearly I have coronavirus.
Like, what? Corona. Idris Elba supposedly had it, but yeah, that's what the rumors were. But how was Jason Statham his typical self? I'm guessing.
So Jason Statham, like he was playing James Bond. Okay, this is a spy movie. More than anything else, this is a spy movie. Yes. This is a spy cartoon movie, like spy comic book movie. This is James Bond for like people who are not
for 50. Millennials. Millennials.
Yeah, it's kind of their James Bond. Two older dudes that are badass and saying funny shit and doing cool shit. The Rock is the Rock. Like, yeah, we're just gonna call him Dwanye from now on. Dwanye. He kind of walks on water with this one. Like my favorite, Mike Oxmall. Like that was. If you watch, I recommend this movie, Mike Oxmall. You'll thank me later.
It's a movie. That's the name of the movie, Mike.
No, there's a scene. So you didn't get a chance to watch Hobbs and Shaw,
right? Okay. Right. I never got to watch it because.
But you have seen the Fast and the Furious movies.
I've seen all of them.
Okay, this is perfect. So yeah, you'll get it later. There's a lot of nostalgia in this movie. Like when you watch this movie, there are going to be things because I'm just going to imagine that you're going to watch it at some point since you watched the others.
Yes.
It's my wife crawling by.
There's nostalgia. Like you're going to see things and you're going to be like, oh, I get that. I get that. Oh, there's that. Oh, there's a line here. There are references to all of their previous lives.
Yeah. So do you think that's well done? Like as far as how they input the nostalgia?
Yeah, I think so. I think
It's not terrible. Yeah.
I think just in the same way that if someone I haven't seen Ready Player One, but references to 80s culture or Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph, I've seen that too.
Yes.
Lots of nostalgia. There's things that are kind of made to maybe tickle your brain, tickle your heart, and this has those things. They're just those things you're going to see, and you're like, oh, this reminds me of this. All right. Jason Statham in this movie he's essentially James Bond. All right. Like he is James Bond. And in this movie, he is desperately making his case to go back into Guy Ritchie films. Like he's like, it's almost like, I don't know. I'm not going to imagine there was a big falling out or anything, but I'm just imagining that like he's done this role enough, right? He's been James Bond enough. He was James Bond in The Transporter. He's James Bond here. He's been James Bond throughout his career.
The Mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Crank.
Crank, dude, Crank movie. Was. Yeah, I loved. Especially the first one.
Huge fan of Crank.
Yeah,
Crank
was awesome. He's a likable actor. He's an absolutely likable actor, and so I think that personally, I would have. I don't remember him in The Gentleman, so I think I would have liked him in The Gentleman.
Yeah, he was not in The Gentleman. I enjoyed that movie, honestly.
Great film. Great film. And I could have dealt with a little bit of Jason Statham in my life.
Absolutely.
However, I think that's a universe that still exists. So that's always going to be a possibility. The idea of a Matthew McConaughey, a Jason Statham British gangster movie sounds like fun. I'm in.
Yeah. I'm 100%.
They're going to travel all over Europe in like cool old American cars, cool old European cars, wearing cool suits and being like suave, debonair gentlemen. I want to see that. I don't want to see Jason Statham as actual James Bond because I've seen him do that before.
Yeah, you've seen that him do that role over and over and over.
Yeah, and he does it. Yeah. He does it great. But he's also very, very typecast. He's about 10 years removed from his straight to DVD series. Like when
easily.
Yeah. So he's kind of turned into not necessarily a caricature of himself, but he's not. I don't know. I don't want to say dumbed down. But it's, I don't know, more palatable to more people.
His performance, like that's why he keeps doing it.
I think so. Yeah, I think that like when I watched this movie, I felt like I was watching a movie that was made for everybody.
Yes, I mean it's commercial. I mean these movies are built for commercial success.
$500 million around the world. Like this.
Yeah.
This movie is a movie that exists to serve everybody. Great. All right. I'm good with this. Their cameo, their cameos in this film, one in particular, and you're gonna be like, I'm good. This is what these movies are supposed to be.
Right.
And like I used to take it personal, right? Like the folks at the Fast and the Furious were making these like cartoon movies because I wouldn't like them. Like I think the last one I saw was like 9 or something. Mm-hmm. Like I see them intermittently. Like I haven't seen them all. I come in every couple of films and
couple movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on. Like I saw something about John Cena being Dominic's brother. That's weird. Yeah. That's okay. Whatever.
Not necessary. Yeah, I get it.
But, we're giving everybody these weird relationships, and that's fine. That's fine because these movies are comic books, and that's how they should be treated. I had a really smart friend of mine say once, he was defending Nickelback, and he said, he said not everything has to be Bob Dylan.
Yeah, then if everything was Bob Dylan would be special.
Not everything is supposed to be great. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's where the greatness lies. This wasn't, rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like, let's be honest,
I love
he
Philip
would have
Seymour.
he would have been great in this. This would have been a series that was made for him, because he was a guy that could do high drama, high comedy. He'd been in spy movies before. He would have been great in something, in anything, any weird role that you put in. You know what? We talk about downloadable content, right? You could put Philip Seymour Hoffman as Dominic's brother.
And he could pull it off.
Why not?
Yeah, he's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
It's plausible. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'll believe it.
What's your favorite? Just a little curious anecdote. What's your favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman role?
Okay, so when I was a kid, they said I looked like him in Twister. I didn't know how to take that.
Dude, he is in Twister.
He is. He's in Twister. So
I forgot.
My wife just broke her hip, boys. Sorry.
Sorry to hear that. Very, very sorry to hear about your wife's hip.
Yeah.
That's why we need to legalize weed.
I'm assuming you're not going to be driving her to the hospital.
Nope.
Okay. Uber. So
we don't have that.
So what is your favorite?
The one that sticks out to me, there was one I saw recently. He plays a German spy, and I can't remember the name off of the top of my head. I believe it takes place in Berlin, but he's a German spy, and he's interacting with there's terrorists, but there's not terrorists. There's money laundering. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in this film, and he's really incredible. But the one that I always go back to is Charlie Wilson's War.
Yep.
Like,
a good one.
And I think part of the reason that I talk so much shit about Tom Hanks is because Charlie Wilson's War is secretly probably my favorite movie to watch. You know, like, yeah. And it's weird because, man, the dude. So Woody is also Charlie Wilson, and Philip Seymour Hoffman slips into a role, and he's amazing. But that was his thing. Like, he could have done Mrs. Doubtfire. It would have been a different movie. It would have been depressing. We all would have cried. It would have been a completely different movie. You know, his depiction of Mrs. Doubtfire is a traumatic, I'm sure.
I would guess so. Probably a heroin addict or something.
There's a lot going on, a lot of things he's got to deal with. You know, he's just having a hard time grasping. But he was such a great actor that when he died, I just remember watching like interviews with him, and he was so thoughtful in everything that he said and everything that he did. And it's his no longer being with us is a tragedy for us as fans. However, I'm sure for his family, for his children, a much harder thing.
No, absolutely.
All right. If we can get away from somber for a minute.
No, I just want to say, watch The Master with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion. About that. No, I just wanted to get that.
What about
Capote?
It? Oh, well, Capote is great. He was great in Capote.
Great. That's my
Clifton Collins, also great in Capote.
Yes, Capote's just great. Period. I think everyone's fantastic in that. But if you like Paul Thomas Anderson, he directed Boogie Nights, Magnolia.
Philip Seymour Hoffman also in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, that's where they first got started. He's in Magnolia as well. But The Master is loosely based on the founding father of Scientology, excuse me.
Oh, snap. I've heard about this.
It's on Netflix. Amy Adams, Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's my favorite movie of all time. Just
really? Okay.
Yes,
so The Master on Netflix.
It's like that and There Will Be Blood are my two favorite Paul Thomas Anderson films. If you haven't seen There Will Be Blood, also on Netflix, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, Paul Dano, and a lot of great people. Also amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Recommend There Will Be Blood. Came out at roughly the same time as No Country for Old Men. Another
2008, probably
somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah. So what do we have? Oh, it's been upgraded by the host. Thank you, Scotty. Yeah. So I don't know. For the Fast and the Furious, I like the dialogue is cheesy. It's simple. It's easy to translate for everybody. Like everybody looks like you would imagine them to look. Like the Europeans are super cool. The Americans are the Americans. You know, and apparently, the Rock's mom gives birth to freaks of nature.
Yeah. And
I had no idea The Rock and Roman Reigns were brothers.
Wait, who? What'd you say?
I don't. Spoiler alert, sir. I should have said that at the beginning.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't know. I didn't hear it. We'll just move past. I'm good.
Perfect. If you're a fan of the Fast and the Furious movies, this is a film that I recommend without any doubt, without any question.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you're a fan.
Yeah. If you've watched any of them, because it's a different movie, it's in a different universe, it exists differently than and independently. Like
so you're saying it's like its own timeline, its own story arc.
You could make this movie without the Fast and the Furious, and I understand there was some tension with the Fast and the Furious folks and
The
Dwayne
Rock
Johnson.
And Jason Statham.
Vin Diesel apparently not cool. But yeah, I think that's okay. I wasn't really looking forward to Fast and the Furious 11. It wasn't anything that I was stoked to check out.
Well, I mean, they were making a fucking $1 billion. They're kind of hard to stop.
So, no, I
googled this. I googled it. If I can, sorry.
What'd you Google?
So over the course of there's 9 movies, not counting the shoot-offs. Okay. Fast and the Furious is a $5 billion grossing movie saga.
Gross income, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and they are working. So they've had 9 Fast and the Furious. They're currently working on the 10th one, set to come out in 2021. So there's going to be another, and there's talks of Fast and the Furious 11 coming out.
I mean, if it keeps making money, you saw how many fucking Transformers they put out?
Yeah, but five
also John Cena.
$5
John Cena's everywhere, man.
Yeah.
All we need is Morgan Freeman, and it's unstoppable.
Probably. I've always enjoyed a good cheesy fun action flick, and I think that I think you can just turn your brain off and watch these movies, right? I mean, that's the intention.
Yes.
Just suspend your belief of reality or whatever.
Yep. And it's one of those ones where I can play with my phone the whole movie and listen to it and look up every now and then and go, oh, I know exactly where we're at in the story plot. I can kind of see what's coming next, and I don't really have to indulge myself. I don't have to pay attention to every little aspect of the movie to know where it's going. It's $10 well wasted. Well wasted. I mean,
it's okay. When you look back on it, are you like, that was an absolute waste of my time? Because $10 is $10 at this point.
That's $10, man.
It's it's a 6-pack of beer, it's a meal, it's something, right?
Exactly.
But it's also like the investment of your time, right? It's 2 hours and whatever minutes. So
I'd like to think my time's worth a little bit more than $5 an hour. That's below minimum wage here in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
But and that's neither. Anyways, like I said, I've seen Hobbs and Shaw, and when we talked about it, I was convinced I had not seen it, and then I went and purchased the movie today for $10, and I started watching, and I was like, I've seen this. I got it from Redbox for $1. And now I'm watching it again, but I own it now for $10, and I can turn my brain off anytime I want and watch Dwayne Johnson throw people around like Dwayne Johnson does.
Dwanye.
Dwanye. And I can watch Jason Statham.
Spankum. Jason Spankum. Real nice guy.
Spankum.
Sounds like
he can be the suave British James Bond who doesn't want to be James Bond anymore. Kick people in the face and hit them with champagne bottles.
But so you think the $10 was worth the hour or 2 hour? Like that was a good price.
Honestly, I mean, I can't say that I'm ever going to watch it again after this. So at $5, I would have been okay. At $10, I'm a little salty. So, but that's just me, and I think I'm better than I really am.
There are ways to do things, but anyway, we can talk about that offline.
I won't do that. I don't believe in that. I support American industrialism.
So I will tell you that via Amazon Prime, you can get HBO Go for $10 a month, and that's how I got it.
Or
and that's probably what I'm going to do once I move.
So you get,
that's a pretty decent deal. You get all the TV shows, right?
Yep.
So many great TV shows.
So there's so many things and so many ways we can go with this. Yeah. So, it's what is the next thing we're watching? First off, are you intrigued now to watch the movie? Have either of us sold you on?
I would say, yeah, yes. I'm always down for a good, funky, good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm always down to have a little fun. I will get it through my way.
Oh, you're a pirate, hey?
Thank God for VPN. But there's, I think, really something that you brought up that I Will, when you brought this up, man, I was like, that's such an awesome idea, because I grew up watching and loving Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's one of my favorite, I guess, childhood memories. Every morning when we would come home from church, it was on Sci-Fi.
You went to church every morning?
Every morning. He was a young man of faith.
Every morning.
Yeah. I'm a
moral fiber.
Used to be a priest.
I'm a minister.
No, but I really did love it. And I do like your idea behind it. And I was wondering, so do you know that Netflix and chill thing?
Streaming service and chill, yeah.
Yeah, the stream. It's you can watch Netflix, all of us together
on a Google Chrome app.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Those, or would we just have to do it like this and we'd be good?
And we got to figure out if there's a way that we can record all of us watching it together. I don't know if it's recordable.
No, we just record the audio, and then you let the people. You're like, hey, we're gonna start the movie in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm with you.
Just play both audio at the same time.
I'm with you. Okay, that's something to think about.
I'm sure that there's a way to do that. I'm not 100% sure how to do it, so I've got to. Without going too far, I'm gonna go ahead and pause real quick, and then we'll go back to recording. Well, just want to give you guys an. All right. Leave page.
We're still recording, by the way.
Perfect.
Oh, are we? Good.
Yeah,
let people see what we fail at.
So
this isn't ZooBox. This isn't the top of the.
Oh, listen. ZooBox is just a bunch of assholes get together.
Sean sounded a little upset today when I was listening to your podcast, by the way.
What's going on in the podcast?
Well, him.
There's some drama. There was some drama.
Tell me your drama.
No, the part that I was getting at was Sean was like, when you were on that other podcast.
Oh, he was fucking around. He doesn't. He loves it. He was like, oh, that's awesome. Like getting out and like doing stuff. Okay. He would love to come on sometime.
Dude,
we'll do it. Me and my brother got in an argument on the podcast to the point where and it was not. He called me a bootlicker.
Yeah, and I was pretty pissed off too.
And I got because I said that hey, dude, listen, man, I have respect for police, but I also understand there's bad cops. But I look at each individual situation as a standalone thing, and I'm not going to judge an entire police department, an entire police force off of one police officer's actions. And him and I just weren't on the same frequency, same wavelength. And he called me a fucking bootlicker and all this shit. And I got so mad. I usually do not get this mad, but I got so mad I fucking left. I was like, fuck this, dude. I'm not going to fucking deal with your bullshit.
Is it weird to record those kinds of arguments, those kinds of personal arguments over your podcast?
I mean, well, Scotty, you listen to it. I mean, it's
all the time.
You listen to it, so.
So I have both sides. One part of me, I was like, oh my gosh, they're fighting, and we as people, we as Americans, we love the drama. And I was like, listen to these two guys. They're duking it out, and they're both very adamant, whatever.
That's the word. That's the word.
Yeah. About their stance. And so I kind of ate that up, but then as soon as Dan was like, fuck this, I'm out, I was out because I followed Dan. I'm not following the other guys. I enjoy listening to him, and I love talking trash with him, but he pissed Dan off, and Dan's a dear friend of mine, so I was kind of instantly on the Dan train.
In my brother's defense,
Yeah.
hey man, we're brothers, right? I mean, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have brothers or sisters or whatever, but family fights sometime. But him and I, we made up. We're good.
Yep.
You know, so we're fine. It's whatever. But yeah, as far as recording that, when that happens, there is definitely a question that should we put this out? You know, is that something that should be put out? And the way we try to do our platform is like whatever happens.
And to be
like some shit, Sean said some shit on there. I was like, I don't know about that, man. He's like, oh well, all right.
And I'll kind of run with that. Yeah, like I listen to it, and they don't go. They're not screaming at obscenities.
He called me
you
a
can
bootlegger.
tell that both is passion.
God damn it.
He did call you bootlegger, but you can tell that both people on each side are very. They believe what they're saying, and they're very adamant.
The problem was that we weren't necessarily disagreeing.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
You were talking in circles and getting frustrated at each other.
Well, it's not even. We just weren't disagreeing. I was just stating my perspective.
Yeah, which is different from his.
No, yeah, but it was literally like, hey, dude, I think police should be held accountable when they mess up because that's like what happens. You should. It's your job. If you mess up, and it's proven that you messed up, then you should be held accountable. But let's gather the facts and not jump to conclusions right away.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, it's not like Serpico, you know? Like Serpico goes in and exposes the entire NYPD and they shoot him in the face.
Correct.
Okay? Like Serpico exposed some bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know? It is what it is.
But you could see that both sides were here.
By the way,
and as far as podcasts go, I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, there you go.
Serpico is easily my favorite Paul Rubens movie.
Is that the director?
No. In the
Which
lead
was that?
role.
I thought it was Al Pacino.
No, definitely
Paul
Pee-wee.
Rudd.
Yes. We can do that. We can do that with downloadable. We can put.
Oh, the deepfake. Oh, the deepfake stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. How great would Pee-wee be in Scarface?
What's a famous Pee-wee line?
So funny, I forgot to laugh.
Yeah, so funny. I like that guy's a interesting character. The guy that actually plays him.
Paul
Rob
Rubens?
Zombie actually, you know, he worked on. Rob Zombie worked on the Playhouse, the Pee-wee Playhouse show.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so did Lawrence Fishburne.
Craziness, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
Lawrence Fishburne is Morpheus for real, man. Like he was trying to teach us then that our imaginations are awesome places and that maybe we should play in them sometimes. And then he went and did it again with Morpheus.
We are in a simulation, guys. It's a fact. The coronavirus is out there
On.
because we figured it out and that they infected us with the virus. Actually, hey, just because I know, like, well, I think you'll dig it. Check out on Netflix, Midnight Gospel. Get stoned.
You are now the third person in as many days to tell me that I need to check out Midnight Gospel. I will check out Midnight Gospel. I love Duncan Trussell. I am excited to check it out. So
it is the trippiest shit. You're like, what the hell's going on?
I'm messaging it to the group so that way I can remember to watch it too.
Sure, I'll message you there. But
okay.
It's an interesting experience. And it's like at first you kind of go, I don't know, I don't hate this because I love Duncan Trussell too. It's really interesting. Do you listen to his podcast by any chance?
Not nearly as often as I should.
But you've heard
anymore.
it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. Yeah.
Yeah, then you'll dig it. You'll dig it.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. Duncan Trussell is a wise man, beyond his years. And he's got some really interesting ideas.
In a surprising way, for a comedian, I would never have thought that. Not to disparage comedians, but you just don't. He really does have some seriously incredible, interesting ideas about life and thoughts, and I love it. I just love Duncan Trussell, and the show is a really good representation of that. It's interesting.
I think we all need a little bit more Duncan Trussell in our lives, myself included.
I agree.
I don't know who that is.
Well, you should, in the words of your favorite rap DJ, get familiar. I believe that was Sparks, by the way.
Thank you for telling who my favorite rap DJ is. I appreciate
true.
that.
I'm such a real scumbag for that. I might make those kinds of generalizations. Yeah, I thought that
Is Vanilla Ice still rapping and DJing, or
is what?
Vanilla Ice? Because I thought that was my favorite until you just told me that my favorite,
Clinton
who I don't know who it is because you
Get
didn't tell me.
Familiar, yeah, Mr.
Bubba
Get
Sparks?
Familiar.
Oh.
Kind of ish. Why not? Why couldn't Clinton Sparks and Bubba Sparks? I guess Bubba Sparks now is Bubba Mathis. He's no longer Bubba
Sparks make a fire, and then Ariana Grande. I got it. Yeah.
Are you guys making mid '90s hip hop references right now?
We're going back mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
Okay. Because I'm
definitely rap references.
References, absolutely.
Is that a sheep behind you? What is that?
Me?
Oh.
Yeah, and you're Dan behind you.
Where?
It looks like there's a sheep on a rock and a poster. Not the Punisher, but the next to it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
right
yes.
there.
Yes.
That's by Antoine Duval from France, and it's called Man with a Camera.
Okay.
And the camera has a giant eyeball in it. It's pretty cool.
And that's exactly what it is a man with a camera.
Yeah, and the camera has an eye. I got all sorts of good art.
Oh, man. That's some good stuff going on.
That's
That's some Salvador Dali over there?
Yeah, some Salvador.
You and your Alabama.
I'm cultured as fuck,
man.
okay, dude. I'm cultured as fuck. Okay.
You went to Turkey. You know what?
Listen, dude.
Is.
When, in the military, I never had anything up on the walls, like nothing. I was the kind of guy just bare walls, bare walls and bare balls. Like when you come in my room, that's all you're getting. And I finally got out. I was like, I need some art. I got my own house. I gotta do something. So I started just buying shit.
I see this.
Stuff that I liked. I don't know.
What dorm were you in Turkey? 960, 962?
964, motherfucker.
Oh,
that was level.
962, boy.
Nah, the fuck out of here, man.
964 was the CE boys when I was there.
When I was there, it was like the ghetto. It was the ghetto.
I believe it. I believe
it. But you had doner kebabs, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
An incredible history. If you guys went off base, you could have learned some cool shit. I'm sure you did. But doner kebabs. Doner kebabs are the greatest. For those of you at home who have no idea, go to the interwebs and skip Google. Go to the DuckDuckGo. Check out the DuckDuckGo and then look up. We're using Google as a verb here. Don't go there. Look up the doner kebab. It is the greatest sandwich ever, and it's it's very delicious.
They had guys come on base, and from off base they would make them. Nothing like riding around on patrol, and you're like, dude, it's like $1.
Yeah,
$1 for this thing.
It's a hot dog. It's but it's not. It's so not a hot dog.
I didn't know how much I loved lamb. I didn't know how much I loved lamb until I was in Turkey, and I was like, lamb is delicious. Mm-hmm. Lamb is awesome. I love lamb. Great. Actually, really cool people, man. I actually really like the Turkish people. I got along with them really well.
I agree completely with that statement. I would go back in a heartbeat right now.
Yeah. They're like the chill people of the Middle East.
It's like super, super chill, but you disrespect my friend, I'm going 0 to 100 like that. Yeah.
Dude, they're like, we responded very small story. Interesting. I responded. And
you tell the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So, we got some SF guys that are stationed up there. There's like 30 of them, and they have their own compound. Right. And they were burning MREs, like a whole pallet of MREs. So we get like
still in the bags, not cooked MREs or trash?
Yeah, just like everything, cooked, uncooked, boxes, everything,
stuff,
just burning everything. And they didn't call the fire department. They didn't get whatever. Okay, listen, like they just started doing it. So I had to roll up there, and I was like, and then the fire trucks are coming and everything, and we're rolling up, and my hobby is upset, and I really like this guy. This dude was Gendarme, which is their version of Special Forces for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And he was in Iraq in like 2003, 2000. And we're like walking up, and one of the SF dudes pushes him. And like, so I whip my ass out, I whip my asp out. And I was like,
no.
I like to party.
You're like, oh, hey.
Yeah. You want to fuck me? No, I was like, let's go. You want someone to fuck? You can fuck me. No, but like I come up, so I fucking got my, you're like, what? And I fucking walk up and I'm like, back the fuck up. Get the fuck back. I'm like, you want to fucking touch my guy? And they got all like, oh yeah, you fucking traitor. I'm like, he's my fucking partner, man. He just pushed him. Like, fuck where he's from. I work with this guy every day. Like, he's my boy. And they got all fucking hissy-fissy about it. And they were fucking, I was like, dude, I will smash this across your face. Like, try me. I swear to God, I will do it. And then do you know what I'm going to do? Then I'm going to fucking shoot you. Okay? I will fucking, like, I went off. Because he was really big, man. This guy was probably 6'6", like 280. Like, he's a big boy. And I'm not the biggest guy. I'm like 5'7", 170 pounds. So I was like, hey, dude, like, I'll hit you with my ass. When you keep coming at me, I will fucking shoot you. And then I got in trouble. And I got yelled at. Because they said I cussed at him and everything. But interesting. But I love Turkish people, so just good guys.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you stopped. I didn't know you stopped.
Well, yeah, okay, so can't have kids. Can't have I post these things up for like over the age of 18, 21. And one of the things is do any kids appear in the video? So I'm going to have to edit out like
yeah, sorry about that.
Dude, it's no worries, dude. I got kids, man. I get it. I freaking get it.
So, and then you saw Tiffany came out of left field and just woof, gone.
Fucking momming it.
Momming it right up, dude.
But I am getting the old watch tick from Tiffany, so we kind of need to figure out a wrap up.
So Extraction. We're gonna do this tomorrow.
Yeah. Is it tomorrow?
We're gonna watch Extraction tonight, and we are going to review it tomorrow. And
are we doing just Extraction, or are we also doing Triple Frontier? Because that's a good.
I have not watched Triple Frontier, and I should.
You should, and I think that would be a very good head-to-head because, in my opinion, that's Extraction is the Hollywood.
Save it.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
I've watched Extraction. I need to watch the Triple.
Yeah.